Hello, today I am going to show you how to make Vatana Na Ghughara. Now this is a very popular Gujarati snack and I think only the mothers and grandmothers used to make it because I think everybody finds it a little difficult to make. I have tried to make these totally oil free and made them as simple as possible. So I hope you will make these too. Let's start. So we'll start with making the covering, which has got whole wheat flour, and I'm going to take some coconut butter. Coconut butter is very easy to make. You get desiccated coconut. I use the pure and sure organic desiccated coconut. You fill it up in a grinder jar and keep blending it. It will come up onto the sides. You just bring it down and then keep blending it till you reach this consistency. Now there are a few tricks how to get it so smooth. Keep your packet in the freezer for at least 12 to 20 hours. And once you keep it in the freezer, it's going to be easier for it to break down. So let me give you one more tip. When you want a good powder of elaichi but don't want to throw away the skin, simply put the packet of elaichi in the freezer for 24 hours and then grind it. Similarly, this also will grind into a fine paste. It won't be grainy at all. You can see it. I can show you it's not grainy at all. Yeah, it's a fine paste. And we are going to use some salt. So let's start with making this. Take the atta in a bowl. And then we'll just add very little salt to this, 1/8 teaspoon actually, which is half of 1/4. Give this a mix. And then we'll take 2 tablespoons of this butter. Okay. One and two. Yeah, so I'm just going to wipe this with the atta itself. So this has, I've gotten all of it here. Now I want you to see what I'm doing. We have to mix this butter, the coconut butter, into every bit of the atta. So what we'll do is we can just keep picking it up like this and doing it so that it touches every single grain of the atta. And all the whole atta particles are covered with this. Okay, or you can even do this. You can even rub it in, and the better you rub it in, the better it will get. So here this is the only thing that you can rub it in and not get scolded for. Just keep making sure that it's all covering. You will see that it's getting oilier. But the whole atta, if it gets nice and oily, it will bake evenly all over. Okay, the idea is that there is enough fat in the whole atta all over so that it gets nicely baked evenly all over. And I'll show you how you can make out whether you've got it right or not, whether there is enough fat in this or not. So I think we are done. Okay, now just make a fist and see, just make a fist and see that it holds. If it holds, it is done. Okay, and that means that there is enough fat to go all around. See, I'll just make a fist again and show you. There, it is holding nicely, so this is done. So now I'm going to add water little at a time and make a dough out of this. Okay, don't add too much water because you want a nice stiff dough. If it becomes soft, they will not become crisp in the oven. So just keep pouring a little water at a time and make it. So make a nice stiff dough with as little water as possible. But it should come together, that's for sure. So this is still not come together. I'm going to just add, I think this is enough water now. So that it all just becomes one big lump. See, this is how stiff it has to be. Okay, I don't want it very soft. This is quite hard, and I'm just going to knead it a little bit more, and then I will just keep it covered. Okay, you can just cover it with another bowl. Just turn a bowl around on top of it and keep it. Okay, so there you go. So now we'll do the filling. So I've got a 1.5 cups of fresh green peas that I steamed. You don't need to boil them. Simply put them in a steamer, and as soon as they are done, remove them. If you keep them too long, they'll become darker green. We don't want that. And then in that we have 1/2 cup of coconut, grated coconut. So I don't sit and do the grating on that coconut grater because you can't get the brown part of it. So I simply break the coconut, take out the pieces, cut them into smaller bits and just grind it in the grinder. And then there is coriander, 1/4 cup of coriander. This is 2 to 2.5 tablespoons of kharek powder. You get this ready, it's available online, organic kharek powder. We have ginger paste, chilli paste, lemon juice. There is jeera, whole jeera, dhana jeeru, the hing and garam masala. First I'm going to just show you, I'm just going to mash these green peas. We want to mash them too much, but just enough for it to be little coarse. Okay. So we are going to do this here and not in the mixie, because in the grinder or mixer you might overdo the thing and you will just get one thick paste. So we don't want that, right? So use your muscle and get a little bit of arm exercise doing this. Okay. So you can see that I have left quite a few of them whole also. So you don't have to kind of completely mash it. We can mash this a little bit more because a lot of them are whole yet. But I think this is okay now. Yeah. Now we are going to do the tadka for this. So let's go do the tadka now. So now I have transferred these peas that were crushed into the bowl again, and now I'm going to do the tadka of this filling. Okay. So now we have the jeera. So I'm just going to put 1 teaspoon of jeera and roast it a little bit. Very easy to do oil-free cooking. All you have to do is just do everything patiently. It takes a little longer because there's no oil and there's no high flame and all that. So just seko this. Of course, I do it in this mitti ka bartan. It's a earthenware pot, and every day for our sabzi that I make for home is always done in this. So see, you can see it's getting browner. Once it gets brown, just put a pinch of hing into it, a generous pinch. Roast it a little bit. Put the ginger and garlic, ginger and chili paste. I don't want so much. So your ginger and chili, just roast it a little bit. If you feel that it needs a little bit of water, that is drying up too much and getting stuck to the pan, you can take a little bit of water. But this is okay, it already has enough water for it to start roasting. Okay, once it's a little roasted, maybe I can just add one little bit of water to it. Roast it well so that the smell of raw ginger is completely gone. And then I'm going to just put all the vatana, and put the salt and the other masalas. So here is the dhania jeera, the garam masala and the salt. Salt to taste. Okay, and this is smelling delicious already with that garam masala flavor in it. So you might wonder why I have taken a lot of coconut, but the idea is that since we are not using coconut in that, we are going to use coconut. We are not using oil, so this we can use the coconut so that will let out little bit of oil, just little. It's not, because it's not dry, it's fresh coconut, it's not going to let out too much oil, but yet there will be some oil element in it. Okay, so just roast it till it's more or less dry. And then I'm going to switch the flame off. We'll just leave this for 5 minutes till it cools down, or I'll just stir it a little bit so that it's cooled down. Now I'm just going, I've removed it from the kadhai onto this, and I'm just going to add some lemon juice and some dry date powder, kharek powder. Okay. This coconut in it. And the coriander. Okay. And then we just give it a good mix. So it is going to be a khatta meetha, like the Guju style Vatana Na Ghughara that you get outside also, but these are absolutely oil free and therefore healthy. They are not made in maida, or they are not done in oil. They are not fried. Okay, so this is how the filling will look. Okay, now we had covered the atta and kept it. It has come out very well. I'm just going to cover it with a damp cloth for just 5 minutes and keep it, and then we will start making the ghugharas. So now the dough is very nice and pliable. Actually reminds me of Play-Doh when we were kids and my kids were kids. Okay. So I'm just going to use the little bit of half a teaspoon that we've kept of the coconut butter and just put it all over my hands and knead it with that. Okay, so that it becomes very easy to make it. Okay, I'm going to remove it from there and do it directly on this. Ideally, we should not need to take the atta, the dry atta, to belo the rotis, but I've just kept it ready just in case I need it. So I'm going to make small balls out of this. Okay, we are going to get 14 of these, 14 to 15. You can make them slightly smaller if you like them. Need 15 only, but around 14 to 15 is what you'll get. Okay, now I'm going to start making the ghugara. Okay. I doubt I will need the dry atta, but if I do, or I can just take a little bit of the coconut butter. I don't want to put the dry atta because it might make it very dry when it's baking. So just make a nice round and then take a clean spoon and fill up the masala. So I'm just going to fill this masala. Keep this like this only in your palm. Okay, half of it is on my fingers and half is over here. Now gently pick this up and seal it over here. Okay. Just seal it over here. Actually this is quite a big ghughara, so what I'm going to do is cut out a little bit from here. I think we'll make these a little smaller. Okay, so here is the ghughara. Now I'm just going to do the edging. So press and pick up, press and pick up, press and pick up, press and pick up. So you just keep doing this. Okay. There. Your ghughara is done. I'm going to put it on this tray with the parchment paper. Now this is a very huge ghughara. I think I'm going to just make them smaller so they look nice and dainty. So we'll have actually almost 20 ghugharas now. Okay. So we'll make the next one a little smaller. And it's okay if the coating is a little thin, doesn't matter, because it should look nice and it should get cooked all over. Okay, so again most of it is on my hand and I'm just going to use the spoon to put it on it. Okay, you can see this. So the idea is to really stuff it up, then they taste nice, because if they're empty they don't taste good. Okay, now I'm just going to pick up both sides and seal it. So be careful that it doesn't touch, and keep this wet cloth. You can even wipe your fingers on it while making the ghughara. There, this is a nicer looking one. My mother will be happy to see this. Okay, now I finished making all the ghugharas. So you can see how many do we have? 4, 5, 6, 16 ghugharas. Okay, we have 16 ghugharas. Now I'm going to cover this back with a damp cloth and keep it. I have this much atta left. I think what happened is that this ghughara became too big and I lost some of my filling in that. Never mind, I'm going to show you what my mom used to do with it. Okay, so she used to call it satpadi. You can make it sweet, you can make it salty, either. Okay, so we just make 4 of those and keep this inside only, in the under the soft napkin. Okay, in this, actually I think I should just mix the masala and all of them. We just make them with namak, little bit of salt. I'm adding some jeera. Okay, and a whole lot of black pepper, which is freshly crushed black pepper powder. So it is freshly crushed black pepper powder. I'm just going to mix it up and knead it very thoroughly. There's no need to take any more water or anything else. Okay, just knead it into a dough. You could simply just make puris also and they'll taste very nice. These, I think they're called goba puri. So you can just make small puris and put them in the oven and bake them, and they'll become goba puris. Okay. Of course, the ones that you get outside goba puris, they're all made out of maida. Now I'm just making it into 4 and this is 5. Okay, now I'm just going to make it into a puri. So I can just show you a couple of variations that we used to do. Okay. Now you still have some of your coconut butter, creamy coconut butter. Just put few drops and cover this fully. On it, I'm just going to put a little bit of atta, and fold it into half, and then put again some butter. This is going to be rich, don't overeat on this. Okay, so these are heavy, one is enough. Yeah, if you want you can just below it a little bit, roll it up. That's it. I'm now going to put this on this cloth and cover it and keep, because we are going to still bake it. Okay, now the next variation is just a plain simple puri. Make this thin puri, and then put a little bit of this, put some atta on it, pick it up from one side and just make it into a fan kind of thing. Okay, so like this and like this. Now pick it up straight and turn it around and make it into a roll, and stick this below at the bottom inside, and then just, you can see these lines in this. Can you see the lines there? It's going to be it'll kind of separate on that part. That's it, and put it away. So you can make more of these, and now my oven is ready. So I'm going to take these and put them in the oven. and I think it should take about 15 to 20 minutes, and I'll be back. Okay, the ghugras are out of the oven and they're looking awesome. So they're done, perfectly done. In fact, I checked a little while back and they were still not done. So they've taken about 15 minutes in my oven at 180 degrees. Okay, now I'm just going to break open one of the ghugras for you to show you how it has turned out. I'm just going to use my hands to do it. There. It's very hot, but it looks very nice. And it's smelling very, very good of the ghugra. See? So we're going to just serve this. We just put it out in a plate. And all of them are nicely stuffed. And we put some green chutney, and your Vatana Na Ghughara taiyar chhe.